Welcome, you guys. I'm Denise with 180 Soap, and today you're going to watch me make a batch of our bourbon soap. This is primarily for men's. It does have a little bit of a sweet kind of scent to it, so believe it or not, some women actually like this as well. And this is going to be made with palm oil, coconut oil, olive oil, castor oil, shea butter, and hemp seed oil. Our additives are going to be coffee. It's brewed coffee with some goat's milk in it, and of course some Kaolin Clay. What I'm doing now is I'm just measured out the palm oil, working on the coconut oil, and my gosh, because it's cold outside, it is super hard to get out of the container, so I didn't put you through having to watch the whole thing. I kind of split it up. And now I'm just adding in my shea butter. Hemp seed oil, it's not a whole lot. It's just, I think it's about 2% that I put into here. And of course the castor oil, need that for the big bubble. The hemp seed oil just adds a little something extra to the soap. It makes it a little smoother. And that's my brewed coffee right there. Everything's been brought down to probably around 105 for the brewed coffee mixture with the actually the brewed coffee was brought down to, it was really cold. It was like 90, I think. But by the time I finished everything and I got the lye water solution down, I soaked it around 98 on the oils and butters, and I think it was about 105 on the lye solution, so it wasn't bad. Now this is my bourbon fragrance. This one I've had for a while. I don't have to make it very often. What I'm doing is I'm splitting it out because I have two different colors that I'm using. I'm going to go with more of a midnight color on the mica and a golden supernova. And I'm just splitting out the fragrance oil so that I can just put the mica straight into those. It helps disperse it. It comes out, to me, I think it comes out way better when you do it like this and you don't have clumps because you've had a chance to stir it in real well with the oils before you put it into your batter. What's funny about that midnight color is when you're soaping with it, it looks really black right there, but it comes out a greenish color. It's really cool. So I've let the oils or the butters kind of cool off a little bit, but I left the olive oil cold because the butters are still kind of warm, and it'll help warm the olive oil up, and it helps make it cool down faster so that I can soap a little faster. Now that everything's incorporated and my lye solution has cooled down, my oils and butters are cooled down, it's time to start the soap. You're probably wondering, why do you soap or even use coffee? Well, it helps create a really sweet bubble. Like it makes a very nice bubble mixture. And the goat's milk, once that solution goes in with the Kaolin Clay, the goat's milk is just, it's the icing on the cake. I used to soap with it and I stopped for a really long time, and now I'm back to soaping with it, mainly by demand. So I'm just mixing this up to emulsion, a little bit past, not much. And then I'm going to split the batter off so that I can add all my colors. There's my mixture of the Kaolin Clay and just a little bit of goat's milk because I don't want this to overheat too much. When you use goat's milk, it's the natural sugars and the things that are in it, and it actually does heat up your batter a little faster. And if you use a lot of it when you've also used coffee, you're going to get a really hot loaf of soap as it's trying to saponify in the mold, and you're going to get cracks. So I use a little less than what I normally would use just to help keep it from cracking. So what I'm going for is a 3-color soap. The base batter in the big pitcher, the kind of dark green midnight mica in the one, in the supernova in the other, which will give me kind of like a subtle brown. Because it's a bourbon, I wanted a little bit darker colors, but not super dark. And look at that. Came out such a subtle, it'll have a little bit of shimmer in it, not much. It's toned down because I didn't use a whole lot, but it colored that batter just a little bit into a rusty-ish color. I'm gonna go ahead and add some a titanium dioxide mixture just to help lighten up the batter in the main pitcher. The coffee, it makes it look a little dark. It usually dries kind of like a nice creamy whitish color, but because I have goat's milk in here, it will turn a little darker. So all right, we're just going to do a little 38-ounce mold. I'm going to go ahead and pour in my main batter. And we're going to layer it. We're just going to do a line, kind of like a line drop. And before we're completely finished, I'm going to do a little hanger swirl. Started with the main batter, put in that rusty brown, and the midnight colors going on top. And then we're just going to keep repeating that until we're out of batter. If you hold your pitcher up high, it helps push the batter into the next color, and it helps you achieve a little bit more of a drop swirl in a sense. I don't want a full drop swirl, but I do want those colors pushed down as much as possible. By the time I got to this one, everything was getting thick. This last pour. So it didn't go down quite as far, but that's okay because once I do the hanger, it's going to help push a lot of that stuff down. Put the last little bits on the top so that when we go to texture it, I've got a little something to work with. And there's the hanger. I'm just doing a few little swirls, nothing too crazy. Now we're going to use the rest of that batter and we're going to go ahead and make a layer of those same colors and give a nice little textured top. Nothing too crazy. End up using a spoon. It'll be cute. Last but not least, we are going to clean up the edges just real quick. It helps keep some of that off the corners of the mold, helps it give it a little more clean line in case you've got some weird little bubble in there. And of course I have some overage, so I'm going to clean up the sides. Usually just use my finger and then push the rest of the batter either into a paper towel or back onto the soap like I'm doing right there. You do that because you just don't want any odd shapes of your soap when it comes out. Sometimes it comes out looking like you got a mushroom cap, so if you clean it up, you don't get those. And there it is, our bourbon soap. Look how cute that is. I love those colors. Can't wait to see what it comes out on the inside once I cut into it. That's my favorite part. And of course, all the dishes are in the sink to dry. And clean your workspace. Keep your area clean after everything you do, before and after. And stay tuned for the cut. So as you can see, I am unmolding and it came out beautiful. It's nice and hard. I do have a few soft corners, but those will dry very, very quickly. Also, if you notice, I have my cheese cutters as my soap cutter today. All of my equipment is in RV in California. It'll be here in probably about 3-4 weeks. But in the meantime, It's a great way to show you that you don't need expensive equipment. If you already have a cheese grater at your house, this works perfectly. You just set up and measure out your guideline on how thick you want your soap to be, which is generally about 1 inch, and you're good to go. It came out beautifully. Now we're on to the lather test. I test usually all my soaps because I want to see how it feels. Sometimes if it's too grippy or doesn't feel great, then I'll actually do a complete rebatch on it. But as you can see, look at those tight bubbles. They're super soft. This is not even a full 24-hour-old soap, and it's coming out perfectly. Super smooth, nice tight bubble, lathers beautifully. Look at that. The coffee, in addition to the goat's milk, that's what made this bar of soap. Absolutely gorgeous. You should feel it for yourself. It's amazing. Appreciate you guys watching. I'm giving you my recipe so that you can try to recreate what I've done as well. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe our channel. Every little like helps. Thanks for watching.